Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of DubCast, a WNBA edition with the legendary Sriracha DFS. Sriracha, how you doing today?
What's up, Alex? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited for the season to start Tuesday. I've already had a little bit of preseason, but this year is definitely special. It's a lot of new buzz, a lot of new stuff going on in the WNBA, so I think there's a lot of new fans, and your perspective as a longtime WNBA fan will be super helpful for them. So I'll start off simple. Why should people watch the WNBA this year, and why should they bet on it?
Yeah, so I've been following the WNBA for quite a while now, and I've gone through, a ton of seasons where there were literally maybe 100 fans in the arena, and now I think we're seeing the most buzz we've ever seen. Shout out to the new draft class. Caitlin Clark is the biggest buzz I think we've ever seen for women, collegiate sports. So she's bringing a lot of hype. This is the first year we've ever seen chartered flights for the women, and I think it's only going to go up from here. This year we're going to see a lot of just overall marketing in terms of the hype and the buzz that's going around all these new faces and these new teams that are put together. And I think, again, shout out to Caitlin Clark, and the Indiana Fever are going to be my sleeper team of the year. A lot of, analysts have them ranked as the 8th spot in the standings, and there's only 12 teams. So them being in the 8th spot, I think is a little disrespectful, considering that they have Caitlin Clark and Nalissa Smith, who is a lottery pick herself. And, they do have a lot of veterans, Kelsey Mitchell, Erica Wheeler to kind of mentor Caitlin Clark. And then last year's number 1 pick, Aliyah Boston. She's a very, very solid big, and I think she just has to stay out of foul trouble, which was her number 1 issue last year. And then on the flip side, my number 1 team will be the Las Vegas Aces. They're the favorite to win it this year. They went 34-6 last year, WNBA champion. Yes, they are losing Candace Parker. Shout out to her. She just retired a couple weeks ago, but they're still getting their 4 back in terms of Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young. And then they're also getting their 2 biggest bench pieces back in Alicia Clark and Kaya Stokes. So they got their core back. The main team they should be fighting with is the New York Liberty. Spearheaded by Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Courtney Vandersloot. Brianna Stewart's been one of my favorites ever since she's was with Seattle. But New York's always going to be a tough team to beat, and I think Vegas and the Liberty are going to be fighting head-to-head come playoff time. Aja Wilson and Kelsey Plum, I think those are going to be 2 of the 5 players I am really keeping an eye on this season. In years past, they've been fantasy, gods. They've always came through for me, especially Aja Wilson. She's very, very good when she gets minutes. And last year, they were kind of, trying to level her and Candace Parker's minutes out a little bit just to keep them both fresh for the playoffs. But without Parker this season, I think Aja Wilson might be a fantasy point MVP. So look for her to perform for your bets and stuff like that. But to kind of complement Aja Wilson and Kelsey Plum, I think you're going to have to look for Caitlin Clark, Brianna Stewart, and Alyssa Thomas to kind of be my top 5 in terms of, prop bets to bet on this season. But who's like somebody you're looking forward to seeing, Alex?
I mean, I have the hat on. I'm an Iowa native. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye. Obviously, I'm excited for Caitlin Clark, but I think seeing her with Aliyah Boston is what I'm most excited about. Caitlin has had a couple good centers, good, fours in her career at Iowa and in high school that could finish at the rim. But to have somebody as consistent as Boston, who's always in the right position, always able to seal her defender, always knows when to actually make the roll off the pick and roll, that's what I'm most excited to see. Finally, Caitlin having her best outlet of her career, her best go-to, because we're all excited about her shooting, but her passing is what truly makes her special, along with her vision. So how do you feel like Vegas is going to shift with all this new attention in the WNBA? Do you think they'll get as sharp as they have been with other leagues that have grown in popularity, or do you think that they'll still kind of leave it as not unattended, but not give as many resources to it like they have in the past?
That's a great question, Alex. I think in the past we were really limited with the props that we get in terms of, prop betting. We'll get the basics and points, rebounds, assists, PRA, and on certain sites fantasy score, but I think now we're gonna get like rebounds and assist props like combined, right? Potentially 3-point attempted props, field goals attempted props, free throws made, just like the same props we get for NBA, we're gonna get for WNBA, right? So I think now that the league is getting more attention, more money is being poured into it. Now we're gonna see more of the betting side kind of pick up, and I think just moving forward from after this season and for seasons in the future, it's only gonna grow from here, right? I think the WNBA was in a spot where it was, in a sense, dying for a little period of time, but I think now with this upcoming draft class, they're really turning it up a notch, and they're pouring more money into making this, as good as it could be.
As we all know, things are dynamic. The season will change. Teams will change. Some will, come out of nowhere and just start hooping. And, you're one of the guys that I think is really tapped in and has been. So you have the contrast of this league to really make those reads and stay ahead of Vegas. So I will be tailing you, and I'm sure a lot of our audience will be as well. So I'm excited for the season, and it sounds like you are as well. But we're going to have to go to some Chicago Sky games when you come to the office. We got to go see Angel in action. So I'm excited for that.
Definitely. Again, hopefully you guys are excited for the WNBA season. If you guys want some prop plays and some bets, make sure to tune in to my Dub Club. But yeah, hopefully you guys are going to be tuning in next week, and I'm out.
Awesome. Thanks, Sriracha.